welcome to this live. My name is Dina Miato, the Dynamic Visionary, and today I'm sharing with you 10 tips on how to effectively work from home. So if you're working from home, or you know someone who is working from home, or someone who is considering working from home, tag them in this video. They may find value. And if you're working from home mom like me, or you're working from home dad, or you're working from home, let me know in the comments below. Now, what are these 10 tips? And how can they help you? Well, they are what has worked for me so far. I've been working from home from the time I had my second daughter in 2020, and I said, I have a little girl now, what do I do? And it's in the midst of the pandemic, so I began to learn how I can work from home and still build my business and support my organization. So here are the 10 tips. I'll start from number 10 and I'll go on up to number 1. And number 1, I think, in my opinion, is the most important tip. So watch on up to tip number 1. So tip number 10 is right here. Have a morning routine. Have a routine. How is it? What are you doing in the morning when you wake up? What do you do and all that? Instead of just waking up every day is different from the other. The mind loves to have some level of order, something predictable. So go to bed at the same time, wake up the same time. Okay, so for me, what I do, I think I go to bed probably around 22 or 23 there, depending, because sometimes my daughter gets to be awake into the night. But when she sleeps early, by 22 or 23 hours, I'm in bed. And by 5, I'm awake. But what I do at 5 when I wake up, I don't just go straight into waking up and walk around the place. I actually get my phone and get an audio book and put my headset so that I don't wake my children. I put my headset and I begin to learn. I get a pen and get a paper and they jot down some points. Why do I do that? I do that to learn something before I do anything else. I have to improve my mind. I have to learn. I have to become better than I was yesterday. So I learn early in the morning. That's part of my morning routine. I don't know what works for you. I know people just wake up and get straight into meditation. Wake up, get straight into exercise. Wake up, get straight into making a cup of coffee, or get straight into prayer. So for me, I learn first thing in the morning. Of course, I say my prayer, then I get straight into learning. Now, by the time I step out of bed, because usually my daughter, she waits to hear if I'm still there. when she just hears I'm out, she also wakes up, my little one. So by the time I step out of bed, I'm going to prepare some breakfast for my children, especially for the one who goes to school. She needs to eat something and probably carry something also as she goes there. So I prepare that breakfast. When I'm done, I can get to shower, get into meditation. After meditation, I get straight into my work. So that is my morning routine. How is your morning routine? What do you do? At the times I work out in the morning, but most of the time I actually do my workouts later on in the evening. I take walks too on some days in the morning, but most of the time it's in the evening to give me room in the morning for me to get to achieve as much as I can in there. So what is your morning routine? So tip number 10 is have a morning routine. Predictable, doable, that can give you power. Instead of waking up in the morning and start watching sad news and all that, start with something that can give you power. Learn something. I stabilize my mind by meditation. I read or listen to an audiobook, jot down points, and look at my schedule, and I say, oh, this looks to be what it is that I'm going to do today. So yeah. The 9th tip is working time blocks. Working time blocks. How is your work? Is it all cramped up together? And you go like, oh, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach this number of people. I'm going to sell this amount of. How are you going to do it? You don't know. Working time blocks. So I began to practice recently to work from 8 to 10, for example, 10 to 12, 12 to whatever. In between here, I have about 10-15 minutes breaks. I give myself a break. I take a walk. I give myself a break, I meditate, I give myself a break, I just listen to anything that is not, you understand, that is not work. So I work in time blocks, and getting to know what should be done in this time block helps me, so that I also get to know what I'm going to do in the other time block at the other time block. So when it comes to rating my success that particular day, I look at, did I really achieve what I planned in this block? If not, did I achieve what I planned in this time block? So work in time blocks. And definitely the third, that is number 8 actually. So number 10 is have a morning routine. Number 9 is working time blocks. And number 8 is take breaks, mental breaks, like I said. So when you work in time blocks, you can have mental breaks. To have time to check in with your work and check out. Check out and just take a break. We love leisure. The challenge is that sometimes we want to take breaks before we even work, okay? Take a break after work. So you work, give yourself a break, okay? So have some mental breaks. Maybe to you, it can be listening to music. For me, I live in a very beautiful place, so I take walks. I walk on property, maybe up to the road, or just walk around there and then come back. Very beautiful scenery. I don't know what works for you where you are, where you stay. Maybe it's going to your balcony and just watch over your city, or maybe it's, I don't know, maybe put on a headset and listen to a song that speaks to you, or you do some meditation or something. But as long as it's not work, take a break. Okay, so give yourself some mental breaks. Then the seventh tip is have a designated work area. Have a designated work area. Where do you work from in your home? Are you working from almost everywhere? You're in the living room sitting, you're working, you're in the kitchen, you're working, you're in the bedroom, you're working, you're in the toilet, you're working. Okay, listen, our brain is a habitual brain. It likes to have very specific places where it knows when that's why even the toilet does not keep changing every day. Today it's in that corner, the other day it's in that corner. That's why even in the night you can literally stagger and get into your toilet and then do your main business, right? Or get into the bathroom. It doesn't change every day. The kitchen doesn't change every day. The bed, you may change its positions, but you cannot keep changing. Today the bed is in the living room, tomorrow it's in the veranda. You understand? So even work should get to know. If you sleep here, where do you work from? Okay, so I picked a room. I picked my bedroom. So during the day, my dressing mirror right here, I've packed everything, lotions, what, put them all away in the drawers. Why? I don't want to see them. It's time for work. I want to focus on my work. On my dressing mirror has these stickers reminding me what I should do at what time. And so pick a designated work area. And if you have children like me, if you're a mom like me, get to communicate definitely with the people you live with, so that during the time you're working, children do not have to play around there. Otherwise, you find you're looking for this, it's gone, the pen is gone, that is gone. Challenges of being a mom. But anyway, so have a designated work area so that your mind get to know, when I'm here, I have to work. When I'm here, I'm having a meeting. When I'm here, I'm having a sales call. When I'm here, I'm having a training. When I'm here, I'm doing this. It's something you're doing when you're seated there. So pick a spot. Maybe it's in your living room. Maybe it's in your, I don't know, a corner of your house somewhere. Okay, maybe it's part of your bedroom, but pick a place you can designate purely just for work. All right, so the fifth one, so we've talked about number 10. Actually, I think that's the sixth one. So number 10 is have a morning routine. Number 9 is working time blocks. Number 8, take break. And number 7 is designated work area, or this is number 6, change your clothes. Simple, but very important. Don't work in your pajamas. I have learned that when I don't change clothes and when I don't bath in the morning, I feel grumpy, I feel heavy the whole day. Why? Because my brain is still thinking I'm in bed. But when I take a shower in the morning, and I don't have, of course, to dress up as if I'm going to the office. Okay, but at least I dress up something that my mind knows, oh, it's time to work. Whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a dress, whether it's a shirt, whatever it is, but my brain knows it's time to do what? It's time to work. Okay, so change your clothes. Don't be in the same clothes you've been the whole night, from yesterday to the night you're sweating in, and even now you're still sweating in, and then you claim you're working from home. I think your productivity is really going to be poor. Okay, so the next one, which is number 5, is actually control your distractions. Control your distractions, or manage your distractions, news, children, social media. Manage them. What time do you listen to news? Are you listening to news early in the morning or midday? And especially when we say pick your designated work area. If you're working from the living room and people want to watch TV, at the same time your TV is on and you're working on your phone or your laptop, come on. You're lying to yourself. You're not working. You're getting distracted. So for me, I trained myself a long time ago not to be watching news, but I know it's not the same for everybody. So what I really suggest for you, it's a suggestion, you could switch off that TV if you're working from the sitting room. Okay, switch it off and watch it at the time you're supposed to. Don't watch news early in the morning. Don't watch news at midday. If it's an emergency, you still hear it. Unless it's an emergency that needs you to go resuscitate someone anyway. If it's a corruption scandal, it's a accident somewhere, somebody's died somewhere. And these are things that we get to absorb, and not even things that affect us directly. Yes, we are all humanity, but come on. Create an environment around you that is less destructive, right? So for me, managing news and bad news and all these news helps me to stay focused and more productive. So control your distractions, your children, get to have a communication with them and just get to talk to them. Why is it that you need to work, if possible? If they are little, like my little one already knocking at that door there, you understand? So find a way to control the distraction. I get to close it up, or I want to focus like I'm being live like this, I'm being on a training. Why? Because I know I don't want to use my children as an excuse why I didn't make it. I have to either choose them as a reason or as an excuse, and I choose to use them as a reason why I have to excel. So control your distractions. That is tip number 5. And then tip number 4 is communicate. Communicate, 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 communicate. Who are you going to communicate with? Communicate your schedule, communicate your work, communicate where you work from, communicate what time you really need the support of the people in your household to be able to focus on your work. Because that's just because you're not home, your home doesn't mean it's not work. It is actually very important work. So communicate, communicate, communicate. I was having a discussion recently with my daughter. She was complaining, she's 8 years old. She was complaining that, Mom, you work all the time. And I said, look, I work all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes. Why? Because you remember this, we used to have these Sunday dates that we would go on. And then she said, I really miss that. I said, for us to go for those Sunday dates, Mommy has to work to bring in the money. So she's young, but she's beginning to understand that, okay, so there's a reward coming from there. So you want to go on a vacation, Mommy has to wait for us to go on that vacation. So get to communicate with those you can. Your spouse, you're married, or you're dating, or you're living with somebody, get to communicate with them. What time do you need their support to keep the distractions away, or for them not to be a distraction? For them not to be the one giving you unnecessary updates, who did what, who went where, because you're home. Because usually we are programmed that when we're home we should be resting. Yet the world is changing right now. More and more people are actually working from home. So communicate with your partners, with your helpers, with your children. Get to communicate with them. The next one, so that is number 5, that is number 4. Let's talk to number 3. Number 3 is plan all activities in a simplified manner. Schedule. Anything important, put it in a schedule. I had to learn that. I just used to say, my goal today is to do this, and somehow I'll figure it out how I'm going to achieve that. Until I learned anything important. Even lunch has to be scheduled. Breakfast has to be scheduled. My bath has to be scheduled. Me walking my daughter to school, that day I'm walking her to school, it has to be scheduled. So a meeting has to be scheduled. A training has to be scheduled. A live video including this live video, has been scheduled. Okay, I'm creating time for creating reels or posts has to be scheduled. Why? Because when it is scheduled, you can follow up on it. You can't measure what you don't know. So schedule things up. Anything important, put it on the schedule, and ensure that for you to measure if your success is look at the schedule and say, okay, how many of these things here have I actually achieved today? All right, so scheduling together with working time blocks, they work hand in hand together to get to know, in this time block I'm working this, in this time block I'm working this. All right, then the next one, which is number 2, is choose to eat well and drink water. When you work out of home, you want to go out there and eat junk food, and the explanation is, I'm not home, so I'm not in control of what they're cooking. Well, when you're home, you're in control of that, so you can get to decide what is it you're eating. You can get to decide what time you're drinking water. You can't say, now that the long distance from the office to the bathroom, so for me to keep drinking water. No, if drinking water is important, which is very important, of course, and at home you're just a few steps away from the bathroom, why don't you drink enough water? Why don't you eat correctly? Have some protein, have some vegetables, have some starch, instead of always wanting to run into emergency mode, okay, or starving yourself unless you're fasting, really. So don't starve yourself, because the body still needs the fuel to get to work. And just because you're working from home doesn't mean it's not important work. It's very important. All right, the next one, my favorite, the 10th one, is schedule time with your loved ones. Schedule time with your loved ones. Yes, schedule time with your loved ones. Just because you're present, it doesn't mean you're actually there. Or actually, one of my mentors say, just because you're available, it doesn't mean you're present. So you can be there and you're on your phone, which is not a very good thing, because you did not finish when you're supposed to work. So when you're at work, work. When you're at home, be at home. But when you're at home and you're at work at the same time, get to schedule time. What time are you just focusing on your spouse? What time are you just focusing on your partner? What time are you just focusing on your daughter? I usually, not every day, some days, I walk my daughter to school, and her school is very close, about 3-4 minutes walk. And so when I'm walking her to school, during that 5, we even make it a little bit longer, 5 to 7 minutes, I'm putting my phone away, and we get to just have a discussion. What is she grateful for? What is she looking up to do school? What did they learn? So we get to have that time to just get to communicate and get to bond, because I realize that in as much as I want to earn money, I want to do things for my children. I don't want to miss the time they're growing up. I don't want to miss the time they needed a friend. I don't want to miss, so instead of me feeling too guilty, hey, I'm not there for my children, how about I schedule it up? So I schedule up the time when she goes to school. I also schedule some time when she's back, not immediately when she's back, she's finding me in the middle of another time block. But then I find time to just sit and get to focus on her, or get to focus on the little girl. So I don't know, each home is different. Each life of we are living is different from one person to the other. So who are the loved ones in your life that you need to schedule time for? Schedule that phone call with your parents. Schedule the time with your friend. Get to call them. So schedule that time. Okay, schedule time for your loved ones. I thought I put it out as a tip because I think it's one of the things that makes us feel fulfilled, makes me feel fulfilled when I know that I'm still going to grow my business, but then I'm still a mom. I'm still a daughter, I'm still a friend, I'm still here. So those are the 10 tips. Which one is your favorite of the 10? So again, number 1 is schedule time with your loved ones, and number 2 is choose to eat well, number 3 is plan your activity in a simplified manner. Everything important should find itself on that schedule. Communicate is number 4 is communicate with your helpers, partners. And then we also have control your distractions like news and social media. Change your clothes. Put on work clothes. Don't work in your pajama the whole day, even if you're working from home. Have a designated work area in your home. Pick a place if you do not have a home office yet. And definitely take breaks. Take mental breaks. It's very important. Apart from that, work in time blocks, and then have a morning routine. Okay, so which one of these have been your favorites? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm a mom. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a network marketing professional, and I'm building a business working online. But these 100 days, I'm on a special mission. This is day number 5, so I have 95 more days to go. I'm transforming my life, working on my body, my fitness body. And when I look in the mirror, there's just some area that will make me feel like, Dina, really? 1 year, 6 months later, that time you're still looking like that. So I'm working on my postpartum tummy, leveling off the love handles, and just to make sure that I have a firm tummy. So I'm on 100 days, challenging myself to get to let go of that. And then I'm also working on elevating my mindset from a 5-figure, 6-figure income earner. I aim to earn 7-figure income, but I know the same software I had cannot do the same for 7 figures. So for me to go that, I'm working on my mindset, elevate it and growing it. Okay, apart from just working on my business, I'm working on me. I'm also working on creating content every single day of these 100 days. Yes, reels, live videos, and posts every single day for 100 days to create content every day. Then I'm also collaborating powerful, ambitious women, probably even moms like me. You want to work from home and you want to spend more time with your children. Let's get to talk. A powerful mom, tag her in this video so that we can get to collaborate. So I'm looking to collaborate with 100 powerful women in these 100 days. Okay, so I'm on TikTok, Dina Miato. I'm on Facebook, Dina Miato. And here on Instagram, Dina Miato. And I'm on YouTube as well. So I appreciate you being here. Comment under this video in the comments. Let me know which one is your favorite tip. And let me know if you have a powerful woman who could check out the collaboration that is possible with me. So I wish you an amazing Tuesday. Today is Tips Tuesday, my day number 5. Yay, I'm on course. Thank you for watching, and I'd like to conclude this video with my favorite quote: faith over fear. For faith and fear cannot live in the same space. Thank you. God bless you.